Welcome to Spiritual Foundations for Life. This is day number 246. There are no religious references in the book of Esther. God is never mentioned, nor is prayer or worship or sacrifice. However, the book of Esther clearly illustrates the eternal battle between good and evil. In the normal course of human events, Satan works to destroy God's plan of redemption. However, God controlled and directed all these seemingly insignificant coincidences that resulted in the deliverance for his chosen people. The events that are in the book of Esther take place in the Persian city of Susa, and these events threatened the continuity of God's plan in redemptive history. Had Haman successfully destroyed all of Mordecai's people, the Jews, it would have prevented the coming of the Messiah, according to Esther chapter 3, verse 6. Devout Jews to this day celebrate the Feast of Purim to commemorate the deliverance of the Israelites in Persia, according to Esther chapter 9, verses 26 to 28. Think of all the times that the Messianic bloodline has been threatened. Cain killed Abel, but Eve was granted another son to carry on the family line, according to Genesis chapter 4, verse 17. A scapegoat was provided minutes before Abraham was to sacrifice his son Isaac, according to Genesis chapter 22, verses 10 to 13. A caravan had to come along when Joseph had been left to die, according to Genesis chapter 37, verses 26 to 28. Moses was spared when all the male Hebrew children were killed, according to Exodus chapter 2, verses 1 to 10. The demonized Saul tried to kill David, according to 1 Samuel chapter 19, verses 9 and 10. Haman tried to annihilate the Jews, according to Esther chapter 3, verse 6. Herod ordered all the newborn male babies to be killed, which would have included Jesus, but God warned Joseph in a dream to flee to Egypt, according to Matthew chapter 2, verses 13 to 18. Wars and diseases and natural disasters have also threatened God's people, but God has always ensured that there would be a remnant. History tells us that the Jews were dispersed after the destruction of Jerusalem in 70 AD. Throughout the church area, they have continued to be persecuted. Had Adolf Hitler been successful during World War II, he would have annihilated all of the Jews. It's a miracle that the Jewish people have managed to maintain their identity and have reestablished their home in Israel. As a nation, they did not accept Jesus as their Messiah. But according to Romans chapter 11, verse 2, God did not reject his people whom he foreknew. As a result of their rejection, according to Romans chapter 11, verses 25 and 26, Israel has experienced a hardening in part until the full number of Gentiles has come in, and in this way all Israel will be saved. Many believe that Israel continues to be God's timetable for the consummation of all the ages. The New Testament believers in the early church clearly understood that Satan and his demons were the instigators of evil in this world. The Western church has inclined to see the book of Esther as a battle only between good people and bad people. Such a conclusion leads people to think that evil is purely the product of natural people living in a fallen world and operating under the permissive will of God. But that ignores the reality of Satan and his evil rule over the world. Satan interfered with God's plans in the Garden of Eden, and the battle continues all the way to the book of Revelation. The primary battle is still between the kingdom of God and the kingdom of darkness, between the spirit of truth and the father of lies, and between Christ and the spirit of Antichrist. Our key point today is that the primary battle on earth is between the kingdom of God and the kingdom of darkness. And our key verse, 1 John chapter 5, verse 19, we know that we are children of God and that the whole world is under the control of the evil one. Join me tomorrow for another episode of Spiritual Foundations for Life.